Did Onyx Player just drop the handheld we were eagerly waiting for? Their new One X-Fly F1 Pro is the first handheld to use AMD's latest Strix Point APUs. The early performance tests are pretty impressive, showing frame rates that leave the Asus ROG Ally X behind. For a while now, the Steam Deck and the Ally X have been the go-to handhelds that offer the perfect pairing of performance and price. But with the One X-Fly F1 Pro on the horizon, it's hard not to ask, could this be the next big thing in handheld gaming? And is it time to rethink what the best option really is? Starting with the build quality, you're getting this refined structure that just sits perfectly in your hands. We're talking about carefully rounded edges and this beautifully curved back that makes those long gaming sessions actually comfortable. The screen is impressive. You've got this wide and sharp display that's very important for handhelds to make every game look incredible. Especially when you're playing those big budget titles, you'll notice the difference. The controls are exactly where they need to be. Two really responsive analog sticks, a sturdy D-pad, and those ABXY buttons that just feel right. Up top, you've got your shoulder buttons and triggers, and they've added these really nice RGB lights around the sticks. For cooling, there's this well-designed vent system in the back, and down at the bottom, you'll find all your ports, USB and audio connections. The whole thing just looks sleek in that matte black finish. It's understated but still looks really nice. Now let's talk about the build of the Ally X. You'll notice it's a touch thicker than before and comes in a sleek black design. Asus listened to feedback and added another vent on top to keep things running cool while making those back buttons more comfortable to use. They made a smart choice by removing the rarely used ROG XG port and adding a second USB-C connection instead. The top keeps things simple with just the essential buttons, so you won't accidentally press them during intense gaming sessions. The power button includes a fingerprint sensor for quick access, and the volume controls are right where you need them. You'll find all your ports conveniently placed, a micro SD slot, a headphone jack, and two USB-C ports side by side. Though we have to say, putting one of those USB-C ports on the bottom would have made even more sense. Alright, we just saw some cool gadgets that are now quite popular, but that wasn't always the case. A lot of marketing had to be done for them to garner such a fan base. So if you are a business owner and want to increase your sales and drive more traffic to your sites, you should check out today's sponsor, TikTok for Business. It is a global platform designed to help brands like yours become creative storytellers and meaningfully engage with millions of TikTok users. Whether you're looking to attract customers, drive sales, or boost conversions, TikTok's unique ad solutions can get you there. From small businesses to large agencies, TikTok for Business has the tools to help you grow. With TikTok for Business, you can launch your first campaign in just 3 easy steps. First, answer a few questions, and TikTok will create a personalized marketing plan just for you. Then, craft your content using an easy-to-use template or upload existing creative. Finally, run your campaign and watch your business reach new heights with the most engaged audience online. So why are you waiting? Find the link in the description box and launch your first TikTok campaign today. Let's break down what makes the One X-Fly's display special. Starting with the screen size, 7 inches is the sweet spot for portable gaming. But the OLED technology isn't just a marketing speak. It fundamentally changes how you see games. Each pixel creates its own light, giving you perfect blacks and incredible contrast. When you'll play at 144 Hz, everything will feel instant. The full HD resolution means everything's going to look sharp at 315 pixels per inch. As for color reproduction, it can display 152% of the standard sRGB color space and 112% of the professional DCI-P3 standard. That translates to colors that pop without looking artificial. On top of that, the 800 nit brightness means you can play anywhere, while the 10-point touch system lets you control games with precision. And with a 0.6 millisecond response time, there's zero delay between your actions and what happens on screen. The Ally X brings a 7-inch 1080p IPS display that refreshes at 120 Hz, which is just the right setup for this resolution. It covers 100% of the sRGB spectrum, so the colors are rich and accurate, and with a brightness level of 500 nits, it stays clear and vibrant even in a bright room. Asus really got it right with this display. It's hard to find anything to complain about. If we're talking about displays, the competition is definitely tight. But for numbers? One XFly Pro has more refresh rate and more color reproduction, and that too with an OLED display. So it's expected to see better display performance on the F1 Pro than the Ally X. The One XFly F1 Pro is an exciting step forward in handheld gaming. It's the first to feature AMD's Strix Point APUs, available in two configurations, the Ryzen AI 9HX370 and AI 9365. The difference between them comes down to the GPUs. The HX370 has the Radeon 890M, while the AI 9365 includes the Radeon 880M. Both are a significant improvement over the Radeon 780M from the previous generation. To show how they perform, one netbook ran a comparison against the ROG Ally X. To mention, Ally X uses the Ryzen Z 1 Extreme processor. In Black Myth, Wukong, running at 1080p on low settings, the F1 Pro's AI 9365 model averaged 58 FPS at 15 watts, compared to the Ally X's 50 FPS. The trend continued in Cyberpunk 2077, where the F1 Pro averaged 43.47 FPS, while the Ally X reached 35.07 FPS, also at 15 watts. Similar results were seen at higher power levels, showing how the F1 Pro delivers consistently better performance. One XPlayer just proved that they can beat the Ally X by fine margins. Performance-wise, the ROG Ally X is still using the same AMD Z 1 Extreme SoC, but Asus paired it with 24 GB of LPDDR5 RAM, clocked in at 7,500 MHz, up from 16 GB at 6,400 MHz. Having both more and faster memory is a godsend for the Ally X's gaming performance. During our testing, the Asus ROG Ally X consistently outperformed the last-gen model, especially in games reliant on memory bandwidth. Now, One XPlayer did a great job with the memory and storage. They are offering from 32 to 64 GB of RAM, which could make it a serious contender in terms of performance. And you can upgrade it up to 4 TB of storage. Ally X is far behind here. They give you 24 GB of RAM and 1 TB of storage. The fun thing is that for a handheld gaming PC, 24 GB of RAM is very good for great performance. But One XPlayer just pushed their limits to go even further. So much that a good handheld like Ally X now looks minimal. As of now, we've seen big gaps between their display quality, processing power, memory, and storage options. In fact, the One XFly F1 Pro is much less bulky than the Ally X. But there is another point where this big gap exists, not for good reason, and that is price. You can get the Asus ROG Ally X for $799. But the One XPlayer F1 Pro costs more. It starts at $1,099, and if you want the best version with all the upgrades, it costs $1,699. That's almost the price of a MacBook. This follows the pattern of One XPlayer's other devices. They'd always been on the pricier side. So, which one should you pick? The one that meets your requirements and budget? Simple. Let us know which one you're going for in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to get more videos like this.